Matthew R. Morris is an educator and writer who focuses on the intersection of race, black masculinity, and hip-hop culture.
He is also the author of this book right here, Black Boys Like Me, a book that deals with the reality of race, identity, and belonging from a Canadian perspective. And Matthew joins us now here on The Morning Show. Matthew, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
And this is your debut book. How does it feel?
Yes. Today, for me, it's like Christmas morning. You know, it's been a process that, you know, as they say, it's been a lifelong journey of where it gets to this point. But I'm just happy that it's actually at this point out in the world, and I'm interested in how people interpret it and take it in. And I'm really just looking forward to continuing the conversation around race, around belonging, around identity, and what all those things mean to our culture.
And this is really your heart and soul, though, right? You know, you share your lived experiences.
Yeah.
Was there a particular essay that was a little difficult to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So the final chapter in the book, I don't want to give too many teasers away, but it explores the relationship that I had with my mother. And, you know, I'm seen as the world, I'm a black male, you know, and I come from a family of, my mother is a first generation Canadian. She was white, and my father was an immigrant from Jamaica, a black male. And towards the end of the book, I detail my relationship with how my mother helped me see myself and also helped me belong, and the way that she was able to not necessarily gatekeep, but guide me in a direction towards masculinity and black masculinity. And yeah, that essay, it was very tough to write. You know, I lost my mom in 2015 to pancreatic cancer. So reliving that experience, of course, it's a book, a collection of essays on my reflections, as you said. So putting myself back in those moments and writing that story, for me, it was therapeutic in a sense, but it was also difficult to go through again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, you're not only an author, you're also an educator, you're a teacher. Talk to us a bit, if you could, about facilitating conversations about race and masculinity in the classroom.
Yeah, so for me, you know, regardless of where my journey in life takes me, I'm always going to be tethered to education. And the reason is because once I started to realize what it is that I wanted to do with my life, I started to reflect on not only my experience in school and in education, but a lot of my friends and family members. You know, I'm very close with my brother, and it's in the book, so he wouldn't be embarrassed if I mention this. He didn't end up graduating high school, right? He earned a GED eventually. From prison, actually. And for me, I think it was part of the reason is because of the way that school and education sometimes impedes black males in terms of their pathways to success, and almost limits their ways in which they're able to exist. So for me, in my role as an educator, one of my biggest priorities is to ensure that the stereotypes around black males are shattered, right? I'm a guy, you can see me, I got, you know, tattoos down to my wrist and so on, but that doesn't define who I am as a person. It doesn't define my masculinity or my blackness, and it doesn't necessarily, in a linear way, mean that I ascribe to a particular culture just because aesthetically I look a certain way. And, you know, for me, evening out the continuum of what blackness can look like in the Canadian context is it's a lifelong journey for me, and I'm trying my best to do it through writing and through education. And
is that your hope when someone reads the book, that they understand that?
Yeah, that's the goal. For me, this book, I think, is, you know, it's for everyone to enter the conversation. If, you know, the subtitle of the book is called Confrontations with Race, Identity, and Belonging, right? And for me, the goal is to come to a place where we can have conversations about our race, emphasizing what is important within our culture, and also arrive at a destination where we can talk about what it means to belong, right? Essentially, what I hope this book provides is for us a platform to continue conversations that transcend identity altogether.
Mentioned continuing conversations. What is next for you? Do you think that this book, is it a standalone? Will you write more?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a standalone. You know, I'm working on a new project. I think for me, I'm always going to be focused on the vehicle of education in terms of how we can eradicate some of the distinctions that we put up in society that impede particular bodies. And for me, I'm going to do that through education, and I'm also going to do it through writing. I think those kind of work for me. And you know, Black Boys Like Me is my debut, but I definitely am encouraged to continue exploring the ideas that not only confront me as a black male, but the ideas that I think bring everyone to the table and look towards a more inclusive culture that we can exist in.
Well, until next time. In the meantime, Matthew's book, Black Boys Like Me, is available now. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.